Fred Katz has released shocking news about a Knicks trade that they almost made last summer, and also he has given us another reason why the OG Anunoby trade has been so successful. So what's up, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris here, and we're going to jump right into the video as we always do, because Fred Katz released news that the New York Knicks and Boston Celtics almost made an Immanuel Quickley trade. Here it is, the New York Knicks and Celtics discussed an Immanuel Quickley trade for Marcus Smart this past summer before Smart was traded to the Memphis Grizzlies, and Quickley subsequently getting traded to the Toronto Raptors on January 30th, or on December 30th, excuse me. And really, it is a relief that the Knicks did not make this trade. Now, I believe Marcus Smart is a good player. I'm a fan of his game. I think he was the heart and soul of the Celtics in many ways. However, I am so much happier that the Knicks did this instead of trading Quickley in exchange for Marcus Smart, because if the Knicks had done that, that roster of Jalen Brunson, Marcus Smart, R.J. Barrett, Julius Randle, and Mitchell Robinson / Isaiah Hartenstein once Robinson went down with injury would not have worked. Smart is not a great three-point shooter. The Knicks clearly needed more shooting on the roster, not less. And they do not have to worry about that, as Smart was a huge part of the Kristaps Porzingis trade that brought Porzingis into the Boston Celtics. And he was also not OG Anunoby. Anunoby is the better player, and we know that. He's the better shooter, which is very important for a team like the Knicks. So the Knicks made the right move and dodged a bullet here. Now, I am not saying Smart is a bad player. I'm saying that this season he has not been great with the Memphis Grizzlies. And there's no reason to believe why he would have been great with the Knicks, as the Knicks would not have had good enough spacing to fully max out on the advantages that you could get by having Marcus Smart on your team. So let's dive a little bit deeper into this here. Because last season, when their only move of magnitude was acquiring Josh Hart, which came before the deadline, the Knicks tried to get their work done early, and then surveying the league about Quickley's values in hopes of landing a first-round pick for him, league sources told The Athletic at the time. Once Quickley broke out, eventually leading to a second-place finish in NBA Sixth Man of the Year voting, the Knicks determined it was not worth trading him. Here's the problem. The Knicks decided not to trade Quickley after he broke out. However, with Brunson being the starting point guard, everyone kind of knew what was going to happen eventually, which is that Immanuel Quickley would not be long for the Knicks. I always had this weird feeling, even watching him as a rookie, I was like, something's going to happen. Quickley's not going to be here forever. He's not going to be here for that long. It just felt like so much of a modern NBA point guard who moves that way. It's like, no shot he plays for the Knicks. The Knicks never have those type of players. And, you know, they lost him. But Jalen Brunson is the better point guard. It makes sense why the Knicks traded him. And basically, they made the right trade, I think. Especially if the other trade was to move Quickley for Smart. Smart is not exactly a perfect fit with the Knicks because he's not a shooter. The Knicks needed shooting, and they added that in Dante DiVincenzo. And also, they've added more shooting in OG Anunoby, which is who they moved Quickley for. And there's a good chance the Knicks would not have been able to get that trade done without trading IQ. The Raptors were in dire need of a starting point guard, and they got one in the form of Immanuel Quickley, which has been great for them in a very brief period so far. And I'm just really excited that this is the trade that happened. I feel like it was better to trade Barrett and Quickley together if you were going to trade them both, because it netted you a guy like Anunoby who fits the Knicks perfectly, who's going to be with the Knicks for the foreseeable future, and who is such a good building block on top of Brunson and Randle, where the Knicks really are only one move away from a superstar player, where I think if they traded for Marcus Smart, we would all be very upset with that trade right now, and we would all be calling for Leon Rose's head, because that would have been a mistake, and we would have looked back on that poorly. So luckily, those deals didn't materialize. It's unclear why. Maybe the Celtics just thought, hey, we can get something better than Immanuel Quickley, and they landed Porzingis. Or maybe it was the Knicks decided, we don't want to do this. This is not the exact player we want. I can't really tell you. I'm not inside the NBA like that. I don't really know that type of stuff. But here is what we have. Sorry, wrong thing. If you look here at Marcus Smart's career, he's been a solid defensive player his entire career. The numbers have always hovered around 10, 11 points per game. This season, he's averaging around 13 points, but he's not shooting well. He's actually shooting the worst from the field since his second season in the NBA. It's only his third time where he's under 30% from deep. He's shooting 27.7%. The Knicks did not need another non-shooter on the team, especially with Barrett having up and down times shooting and Julius Randle being sort of up and down, especially because he's been working inside the paint so much this season. And also, if you look at the field goal percentage, it's not great. It's not the worst of his career, but it's really not great. Smart has had a multitude of times where he shot under 40% from the field, but still, you don't want a guy who's really shooting 42% from the field, or 41.7 if you're not being generous, and 27% from deep when you really already have a bunch of guys who are not shooters. It would be Brunson by himself. It would have made him easier to guard. And on top of that, we also have this. Marcus Smart is playing with the worst PER of his entire career. This is the least efficient season he has ever had. Now, part of that is probably to do that he's a role player who excels on winning teams, and the Memphis Grizzlies have not been a winning team. However, he still is the worst PER of his career, and that is something to basically be aware of, because you're sort of thinking like, hey, is this what would have happened with the Knicks too? Did the Knicks avoid something very problematic and dodge a serious bullet there? And it feels like the answer is probably yes. So most likely this was a good move for the Knicks, especially if you go, and then sorry, that'll come up in 1 second, especially if you go and look at the numbers of OG Anunoby, who is having a better season. Look here at this comparison right now. Anunoby averages 15 points per game, 4 rebounds. Both are better than Marcus Smart's 12 and 2. Smart averages 4.5 assists per game, and yeah, that's higher than Anunoby's, but Anunoby's not there to dish the ball out. Anunoby does not get the amount of steals. He doesn't get 2 steals a game like Marcus Smart, but he does have an ability to guard more positions than Smart does. And then he's also shooting better, both from the field and from 3. His effective field goal percentage is better. His box plus minus is better. And his value over replacement player is better. OG Anunoby is a better player than Marcus Smart. I think it's hard to deny that. And basically because of that, and kind of making the roster in a position to land another star, I think the Knicks made the right move. And as you may have just briefly seen, because I hit the wrong button, the Knicks also, when it comes to the OG Anunoby trade, Fred Katz let us know about something tremendous. Going down the rabbit hole and recalling a trade that sneakily worked out quite well for the Knicks got that second-round Pistons pick that they used in the OG deal from the Los Angeles Clippers just to drop from number 21 to number 25 in the 2021 draft. With the 25th pick in the 2021 draft, the Knicks took Quentin Grimes. Grimes is now probably the best young player on the New York Knicks, which says something about the Knicks and that they are no longer a team of young guys. That era of play the kids has ended. But they still have Grimes, who is probably going to be used as trade bait sometime soon, or could just develop into a nice little role player for the Knicks. We are yet to see. But it is cool that that worked out so successfully for the Knicks, and that a huge part of getting OG Anunoby was also to get Quentin Grimes. Those are the 2 best perimeter defenders on the Knicks. And it's just sort of something to realize, both between this and the Quickly trade, that Leon Rose is good at his job. I know not everyone is happy with Leon Rose. And I understand that it's because the Knicks haven't gone out and gotten a superstar player like it's been indicated that he's looking to do. But that's also because there have not been too many situations of true superstars available. And when Donovan Mitchell was available, the Knicks would have had to vastly overpay. And they opted not to do that, and it worked out really well for them. So Leon has been doing a great job as president over the years, including doing that move for Grimes, which would eventually end up leading to being a huge part of acquiring OG Anunoby with that second-round pick. That was so valuable because it is going to be the 31st overall pick in the draft, barring the Pistons figuring out how basketball works, which probably won't happen this season because they're Cade Cunningham, and that's it. So yeah, Leon Rose is doing well at his job. It's just sort of a nice little thing to put out there and show. This entire video, in a way, is sort of just praising Leon Rose for making the right moves. And so anyone who's worried about this trade that has happened for OG with giving away RJ and IQ, don't worry. It feels like Rose has a good grasp on what's going on. Remember, he took over a team who was really led by Kevin Knox, Mitchell Robinson, Dwayne, I'm forgetting his name. Wow, Damian Dotson. Man, and Kadeem Allen. So, the Knicks have obviously come far since then. And hey, Taj Gibson's still here. So is Julius Randle. So, some stuff stays the same, but the Knicks have been making great moves. Shout out to Leon Rose. Hopefully he keeps getting this right, and hopefully he gets the star player that we need. That's all for today, guys. Have a great day. Comment your thoughts down below. Like this video. Subscribe to the channel. You know all that stuff. We all of us YouTubers say it at the end of videos. Have a great day, and go Knicks.